Diller-Odell Coach's Corner, a service of the State Bank of Odell and the Vance Curtis Funeral Homes.
The State Bank of Odell, proud supporters of Diller-Odell activities, wishes all teams, clubs, and groups good luck this year. For all your banking needs, including internet and mobile banking, stop in or give them a call, 402-766-3720, or online at statebankofodell.com. That's the State Bank of Odell, member FDIC.
Trust the Vance Curtis Funeral Home in Odell during your family's time of grief. Their unmatched experience will serve you well when you have other matters in mind. Vance Curtis offers more than the expected services and will assist and comfort you and your family in trying times. Vance Curtis Funeral Home, serving Southeast Nebraska in Odell.
Welcome back into the show. I am joined now by head coach of Diller-Odell, Chris Schluter. Coach, you went over to Deschler. We talked about it before I got you on. Went up to Deschler, 36-8 win. What did you see from your team in that victory this last week?
You know, it's great to get the first win of the season, but I think the guys understood that maybe we didn't play as good as we could have. We came out pretty flat in the first half. You know, then at halftime we had a good talk and we figured out some things, and we came out and we had a very, very good second half. We were able to run the ball, which is what we try to do all the time. And there was a little wind up there, so you know the passing game wasn't quite as effective as maybe it can be at other times of the year. But you know, the kids came out ready to play a football game.
We've talked here the last couple weeks. You know, every season is a building block. You build week by week, and you talked about them coming out after half. How do you, as a coach, how do you like to see that in a team where they kind of take onus either mid-game or, like you said, in between weeks, and it starts to click with them? Yeah,
you know, at halftime, the coaches kind of went in and we talked, you know, and I kind of put it on them. I said, you know, my time of trying to get you guys amped up and you know, getting you ready to go, you know, it's over at this point. You know, it's your time as the leaders to step up and to find it in you guys as a group to get it together. And they took ownership of that because I gave them the last 2 or 3 minutes of the halftime before we started our warm-up just to kind of talk and get together. And, you know, they did what they needed to as the leaders in the group. And, you know, we came out and played a solid second half.
I guess kind of looking from the outside in my perspective, obviously good to get your team leading, I guess is the term I'm looking for, at any given week. But now that your non-district schedule's kind of up, your next 5 games are going to be district games. How important was that for you to establish that leadership in the team this week going forward?
Yeah, very big, because even though, you know, the first 3 games of the season didn't go exactly how we planned to go, you still have a chance right now to go into the district and, you know, potentially fight for a district championship still. We have 5 very tough teams left on our schedule, so it is very important to find those leaders, you know, before these next few weeks. So hopefully some of that momentum and leadership can kind of carry over.
Starting with that kind of gauntlet of a schedule, it starts with Sacred Heart next week. Their offense pretty good, averaging 54 a game. Defensively, you've liked your defense all year. I know we've talked about it. What's going to be the give and take for both sides coming up on Friday?
You know, Sacred Heart has a coach that is, you know, one of the most respected and well-known coaches in the state of Nebraska. Won a lot of state championships, and whether it's football, basketball, track, you know, so he always has an idea of how to make you play left-handed, you know, has a really good idea of how to attack your defenses and the weaknesses in that. So, you know, we got to try to figure out, you know, what is he going to do and how are we going to play it. You know, I talked with my defensive coordinator this week, and, you know, they're going to come out in a bunch of different formations, and they're going to come out in a bunch of different stuff. And they do that, you know, game planning on what they think they can do. it's going to be it's an interesting week after watching the films that we have on them, because they do a lot of different things. To me, if you can play as much of your base defense as possible without having to blitz a bunch, a bunch of stunts and just do a bunch of goofy things, that's when your defense is playing its best.
Well, I think that does it for me, Coach. I appreciate your time again this week. Good luck this week coming up. Congratulations, like I said, on your last win, and best of luck with Sacred Heart coming up.
All right, thank you.
Diller-Odell Coach's Corner, a service of the State Bank of Odell and the Vance Curtis Funeral Homes.